Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe. We're going to address this. This is one of the most popular topics across my channel, the new supply. The new supply. Let's talk about it. Feel free to leave some comments below. I'll address your questions or concerns, or love to hear your stories. Is a narcissist their new supply? Are they better than you? They're just somebody who's naive and a victim. And we're going to get a little bit more into it. Why does this person matter to us? You know, why does it matter to us? Well, our whole life was disrupted and we are trying to search for answers. And we kind of look at the new supply. We compare ourselves to them. We put what our things that are important to us in a relationship onto that new supply. And we're evaluating, are they smart? If that's what's important to us. Do they make money? If that's what's important to us. Are they pretty? Are they skinny? Are they, thick? Whatever is important to us. You know, you can say that's scrawny ass, or she's too thick, or he's too whatever. Another thing too is it's kind of hard. When I was pregnant with my first, he left me because he didn't want kids, and ended up with a girl who had a boy, and he was involved in that kid's life, and it was for a few months. We got back together, but he didn't want kids. That's why he left me. And we're like, wait a second. This was your kid. It's very confusing to us. So we're trying to get answers, but this new supply, are they going to last? You know, are they going to last? History repeats itself. You know, how long will they stay with somebody? Depends on what was important to them. A trophy husband or wife, status, somebody who is a maid or a cook, whatever is important to them. Sometimes they have no intention on staying with somebody until maybe the kid's grown. That way they have a free babysitter and some companionship, somebody to count on, somebody who can do the errands. It depends on the tolerance of the new supply, the naivety of the new supply. Are they better than you? They're just somebody different. And it's, am I prettier than you? That's all in the eyes of the beholder. You could be so much prettier to somebody else. It's perception, it's what's important, so to wonder if they're better, you're basing it on what's better to you. What's better to the narcissist? The narcissist is kind of like, because they are in that childlike state, kid in the cafeteria. They want pizza. You don't have pizza. Okay, they want spaghetti, but hell no, they don't want that damn hamburger. Like, they just want something. They might get upset. So their supply is just pretty much half of the things out there will do. I refer it to like panic buying, to where they don't invest in the person to get to know them. So are they compatible? The narcissist just puts up these acts of being compatible. They're a chameleon. They're trying to fit in. They're trying to be loved. They want to be loved because that's like a soul contract, to where now we're enslaved to them. And sorry, I'm like super hot. Welcome to July. But the new supply is going to go through the same cycle. History repeats itself. Don't let your self-worth be based on some other person. This new supply, are they better than you? Well, this is what I have to say. Fuck them. Fuck them. Work on yourself. Be the best you that you can be. Because this new supply is going to get devalued, and you're going to, as they say, glow up. You are going to have that inner glow. It's going to come back. And I hope you've seen some growth in me. Watching my videos as they come. Comment below if you have. I've had several good days lately. I'm doing more things. And that's part of it. Like I'm going to the beach, had dinner with a friend, dinner with a friend yesterday. I take my dog for walks. I was kind of depressed. I didn't really do it because I needed knee surgery and also because of the winter, but I'm out there. I'm roller skating again, doing silly things. It gets your body in shape. It gets your heart pumping. And what's the new supply doing? They were probably at that stage. They're doing whatever is enjoyable. Well, they're starting to lose some of their friends because they're so focused on not upsetting the narcissist. So their social network is shrinking. Their ability to live life, experience life is shrinking. And, it, like with my second narc, I'm already seeing the pattern of the destruction. They're supposed to get married in September. There is a pattern. It'll last for a while. It'll last for a while, but I already see it. I already see it coming. And I can almost predict when. Unfortunately, it's going to be a couple of years, but it's going to happen. They're not going to work out. It seems like they have the perfect everything. They don't. I know that. And I know that. The narcissist, most of the abuse happens behind closed doors, things we will never see. And just like when we're sick, sometimes we start not feeling good. Don't really know why. Start get maybe a headache, but then our nose starts running. There's going to start to be some evidence of the illness. It's going to be a different color. Sometimes it takes time to manifest, but that seed of infectious crap the narcissist puts in. I just did a video on how it can be the smallest little thing. Just a silly little half truth or a white lie or a misleading comment. That's as soon as there's too many of those, or one where you're instantly walking on eggshells where you start to feel guilt, the narcissist or the new supply is going to feel that. And it's an exchange of energy as soon as that energy goes off. So they're trying real hard. They're getting caught up in the thrill. And I said before, it's like going on a roller coaster. Like, oh my God, that was so exciting. I don't want to do that all day. Eventually you get tired of it or sick of it, or you hate it, or it's messing up with the rest of your life. You can enjoy things for a while. And it's like, if you wonder how dedicated this narcissist is, remember they're creatures of habit. Just like right now, I love tap, I love hip hop, and I was doing that. COVID kind of messed that up. I'd probably still do it if they were like high energy, but they like to just talk. But that's a kind of like a commitment. So whether it's to go to a knitting class, or you're going to join a baseball league or something like that, adult league, intramurals, whatever, you'll do it for a while. You're going to enjoy it. It's going to be nice. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, like I like doing it, but don't want to keep doing it. So the level of dedication, I probably would have done it longer if it was what I wanted. I go there and they don't start till we got 15 minutes of an hour class. So I was a little irritated. That's not what I was there for. So the narcissist is going to have that kind of mentality. Like, I wanted a perfect life and now I got to deal with, just like I had to deal with them just wanting to talk for 45 minutes. That's not why I was there. That's not narcissistic. I signed up for a dance class. But it's hard to commit to certain things. You start seeing little flaws in it. It wasn't high energy enough. The narcissistic relationship with the new supply, they're going to get older. It's not the high energy they want. Or in my cases, they got older and their new supply was 10, 14 years younger. And are they going to be able to keep up? Arthritis is not fun. Or even just, just wanting to relax a little bit, even if they physically they could keep up. Mentally, intellectually, they exceeded. But as you get older, sometimes you just want to chill. You don't want all the hype. You don't want clubbing and that kind of stuff, or as often. So the new supply, if they are younger, we got to think too what that new supply is about. They're not necessarily an empath. They're not necessarily a good empathetic person. They could have issues too. Narcissists, they can go either way. They feed off of the toxicity. So it can be hot and heavy, but between the new supply, if they're toxic, partners in crime, eventually, you see these rock bands. Somebody gets grandiose and or wants to go out on their own. Like, things change over time. So commitments, especially from my perspective in North America, where I happen to live and I'm single, commitments don't really seem to mean much anymore. I've been in a pretty tight-knit family, like where you're good girls, good guys, where pretty much everything goes the way it should go. And the first divorce that was in our family was a second cousin. I think it was 18 with the first divorce of both my mom and dad's side. So I was 18, and it was kind of like, wow, like this really does happen. And I had a couple people I knew that, their parents divorced, but I'm like, this is hitting my family. But now there's so much divorce in this world. I was probably maybe sheltered, didn't see as much, but I work in urban schools, and it's amazing, the homelessness, the abuse, the neglect, the lack of finances. 100% free lunch, and I'm saying 100% of the school gets free lunch. The behavior issues, so if they have children, today's children are a lot more entitled. They're a lot more into video games. They don't want to do their homework. They don't have motivations. They don't, I don't know, Instagram, all that stuff is changing things. The new supply is going to go through what you went through. They're going to get that cold shoulder. They're going to get either ticked off or they're going to get hurt, and it's going to just throw the cycle off. So if they're with a narcissistic new supply, it's going to get very volatile. If they're with an empathetic person, that empathetic person is going to be trauma bonded, and that's going to be annoying to the narcissist. Like, they set it up for us to be needy, because when we're needy, they feel superior. But then you got to think about the needs. Like, the narcissist knows they're starving us. That's why they throw us breadcrumbs. It's probably why that term was related to food, because we're starving. The new supply will go through that cycle and start to starve. So as an analogy, if you become anorexic, like we were anorexic in our love, like our relationship. So even if you survive as an anorexic, a love anorexic, it's going to start damaging. You're going to start having organ failures. That's us having our breakdowns, or sleeping too much, or sleeping through alarms, or getting depressed. It's hard to maintain health when you're starved. So we got to remember too, that we went through that brain damage, and we're rewiring our brains now. We're healing. But the new supply is going to get this rude awakening, and it's going to start messing with their head. And it's like impulses. Our bodies and our minds sometimes kind of do their own thing. So, this is kind of a little crude and crass, but, you know, how does therapy help with a narcissist? And I was debating on saying this because it was kind of crude and crass, but, you sit there and talk to your narcissist and try to explain things and try to understand them and try to guide them. I want to change if I have my period. So the amount of counseling you give me, it's not going to change. The body's going to take over. It's just the body. The mind kind of does the same thing with the narcissist. So it's empty words. It's not going to change what their mind is going to do. Just like you counseling me isn't going to change what my body's going to do. So drugs, there are drugs to stop your period. Are there drugs to stop narcissism? There isn't. There isn't. The only drugs that are out there are for comorbid disorders or problems. So it can help them with anxiety. It can help them with other things, depression, but it's not going to help with the narcissism. It's not going to help with the narcissism. So maybe they're not as depressed. Maybe they're a little more pleasant, but the way they talk is destructive. The way they are entitled will make you start to, want to stand up for yourself. And then if you stand up for yourself, it makes it worse because we start feeling like we're going to get discarded. And that scares us. It's going to scare the new supply, because the narcissist, the narcissist, they're going to push their limits. They're like children. Children push their limits. Just like, in high school, you're told to be home at midnight. You finally get to be home at midnight. It's not 10 o'clock anymore. And you're like, okay, I'm going to try it a couple times. All right, I'll show up at 11:50 or I'll show up at 10:30, kind of get mom and dad's trust. And then eventually, once you have the trust, you're like, they've been going to sleep. Like, I'll stay out till 12:30. They're asleep. They're not going to know. That's how the narcissist thinks. They think like a teenager or a toddler. There are different levels. There are different stages of narcissism, but it's who they are, and they're going to get bored of the new supply or irritated with the new supply. Just like I go through cycles. I do not have a sweet tooth anymore, but I went through cycles where it was like every couple of years, it would last for like a year. Had to have a donut every day. And I'm sick of donuts. I used to buy M&Ms for probably 3-4 years straight. I had a miscarriage and that kind of changed. I don't like sugar stuff anymore. Things in life happen. They change things, so mine, as far as food, was a miscarriage. But the narcissist, bumps in the road will change their direction, their path. And are they going to work through things with the new supply if it goes in their favor? But narcissists don't want burdens. And sometimes they see our emotions as a burden. So whether it's a physical ailment or a need that we might have, it's going to start to irritate them. They might try something for a while, like driving us to work. Eventually, they're going to start getting ticked off. Like, look, it's been 3 weeks. And you're like, I know, but I'm waiting on a car part. And then it's our fault. Well, if you would have bought a different car, and it turns into an argument as opposed to even just saying, oh, it's just starting to get hard. But, is there any way you can find somebody else? Because it's really wearing down on me. Like, they don't communicate. They communicate anger. They communicate anger. They don't communicate love. It's how they're going to handle things. So don't compare yourself to the new supply. They're no better than you are. They're somebody different. And, if in your eyes, they're like kind of beneath you, maybe they have more struggles, maybe they're drug addicts or whatever. There's good and bad in everybody. The narcissist is gonna look for whatever the supply that they want. If that person's great in bed, well, who cares if they're a drug addict? If the person has a rich father who can get them a job, they don't care who they're with. Or if it's a compatible person, or, somebody might be more beautiful, but are they more beautiful on the inside? Don't compare yourself to that. Just glow up, make yourself the best you can be. And that's going to give you inner pride. That's going to give you confidence. Confidence is so sexy. So you're sexy. Just build that confidence up. And sexy isn't about being beautiful. Sexy is not about being beautiful. Sexy is about owning who you are and your confidence and smiles and little winks and just your aura. That's what sexy is, your aura. And the aura is going to shrink around that new supply. They're going to lose their glow. Kind of look at pictures. Are they the prim and proper, beautiful couple that they were before? Are they starting to wear sweats now? Are they starting to relax? Are they starting, sometimes too, you gotta be careful on that. Maybe they feel that they're losing the person, so they're going to glam up, but their soul, their inside is being killed, so that's fine. Beautiful haircut, nice makeup. Your inside is getting, for the new supply, is getting uglier, because the narcissist turns people into narcissists. They turn people into codependent people. They turn people into where we feel like we're crazy. We feel it because we feel our brain being altered. That's how powerful. That's how powerful the energy exchanges between people. That's why if you stay in that relationship, it's going to destroy you, because there's a balance. There has to be a balance. The balance is always even, 50-50. 60-40, 90-10. It's always going to be 100 for the most part. And that's where it's going to keep going. They get mad at us, so we yell back, and we're trying to balance. And the narcissist has a power over us almost, and they're going to take that power over the new supply. Or if it's a power battle where they're both narcissists, they're eventually going to blow up. They're going to blow up. It's not going to sustain. So don't worry so much about the new supply, because how much time did you spend thinking about the new supply today versus how much time you spent thinking about yourself? And if you said you thought about yourself a lot, I want you to think about yourself in the positive way. What you can do for your life, the people that you can reconnect with, or projects that you can do. Because if you thought about yourself, sometimes we think about, why did this happen to me? We never know why things happen, but usually it's for a reason. I've had some things in life that, looking back, you wonder, like, why did that happen? And it brings you down different paths of life. You're meant to go on those paths. You're meant to touch somebody's life. What do they say? The people in your life are either meant to be like a lesson, or to stick by you. There's a lesson in this, to know your self-worth. I think that's the biggest thing we got to realize. We have to be willing to walk away. Because if we don't expect people and stand by it, if we don't expect them to treat us the right way, they won't. They won't. That's human nature. And that's kind of like what I'm kind of enjoying is knowing, like, I know who I am. I'm very confident in the things I've achieved and who I am as a person. We're all unique. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried. You know, and one day they're going to look back and they're going to see who they're with because they destroyed that new supply. And they're going to see you. That's their karma. That's their karma. That you turned out to be wonderful. So in the end, is that so bad? That you have a good life? Might have missed out on what you thought would have been a good life. But look how toxic it was. Look at the remorse. Look at, you know, the depth, like, you know, how they related to you. You know, it was good when things are good, but when that's when you get the true character of somebody. That's when you'll see who they are. Because people, for the most part, go along getting through life, cordial to each other, with the people that are in their circle. The narcissist often, you know, laughs at car accidents, thinks it's funny that somebody lost their job, like motherfucker deserved it, like stupid ass. Like, they don't think about the family that might not have food, or this person's going to lose their job. They just think it's funny. Like they think the wrong things are funny. So pay attention. Those are red flags, you know? So big hugs to you. One-on-ones are available. Topic requests are welcome. And don't worry about the new supply. Worry about yourself.